So the Mavic 2 Pro, my initial reaction coming right up. What's up, all drone maniacs? Welcome back to Drone Logic for your drone and tech related info from my point of view. So as y'all stated in my last video, I got my Mavic 2 Pro and I unboxed it. I activated it with DJI. I did the updates, registered with the FAA, and I have to say over the last 2 weeks I put this thing up in the air and put it through its paces, and I have to say I'm definitely very happy with my purchase. So glad I decided to upgrade from the Mavic Air and not wait on the Mavic 2, the Mavic Air 2, which is going to be coming out soon. And I know that there's going to be areas where the Mavic Air 2 is going to be better than the Mavic 2 Pro, no doubt about it. But I still think it's going to be, overall it's going to be a better drone. The Mavic 2 Pro is just going to be a better drone because it's a flagship drone. But anyway, in this video, I'm going to talk about the good, the bad, and what I found to be the surprising. Now, there's plenty more good than anything, so I'll start with the good. Anyway, now, the battery life. As y'all know, with the Mavic Air, my number one pet peeve and the thing I complain about the most was the limited battery life. From all the shortcomings of the Mavic Air, including the enhanced Wi-Fi, this was the one thing that was just hard for me to just look past. Because even with the enhanced Wi-Fi, whatever I needed to do, I did it. I got, within range. I had plenty enough range to get what I need done. But with that limited battery life, just basically limited what I can do. It really does. I mean, I remember I flew over Lake Pontchartrain once here in the city of New Orleans. And again, with very little interference out on the water, you can get your maximum range. The problem is I was afraid to go more than a mile out to test it, go out and fly, get get pictures from, of the shore from out in the distance, but I was afraid to go further than a mile because of that limited battery life. It's fine that you can have more batteries that you can overcome it, but some things you just can't overcome by having more batteries, But I don't have to worry about that anyway, because when they say 31 minutes with the Mavic 2, they mean 31 minutes. So I'm very happy with that. Now the next thing that's absolutely great is that AccuSync 2.0. I mean, it absolutely lives up to the hype. It's like rock solid. And I know that with the Mavic Air, I would get a lot of screen skipping every so often. And sometimes, 300, 400 feet away, and I would see my screen on my controller freeze up and stop and freeze. And well, I never had that issue with the Mavic 2. Matter of fact, the only time I have it is when the drone is about to disconnect from the controller to get out of range. And when I see that, I know I'm about to disconnect so I can respond. The only other time I really see that, I saw this when I was flying like near a cell phone tower. I saw it, but even then it was nowhere near as bad as the Mavic Air. I mean, AccuSync 2.0 again lives up to the hype, and honestly, I can't wait to see what AccuSync 3.0 can do. I'm telling y'all. Now the next thing is the gimbal pitch. In other words, being able to pitch up and see the horizon, above the horizon. And honestly, I didn't know that capability existed until like the last month or so, maybe a month and a half ago. And I seen a ton of videos on the Mavic 2, the Mavic 2 Pro, but I didn't know that. And I didn't when I first saw that, I didn't think it would be that much of an impact, because I was thinking, well, you can just rise up to get that shot. Turns out that is actually a lot more helpful than you believe. And just rising up actually won't help you out much trying to get the shots that you can, because I mean, not if you can only rise up 400 feet, which is a limit according to the FAA. You can pan up, get the sky, catch birds flying. I think that was something that's actually a great feature on this drone that was completely incapable with the Mavic Air, because of the gimbal was just housed too far under the body, and I'm guessing for protection. Now, it ain't the Parrot and Nafi, of course not, which can shoot straight up, but it's a nice feature to have, and I've used it already. So man, I didn't think it was gonna be as good a feature as it was, but it actually is a great feature to have. Now the next thing that's good is the extra weight. Now I know you do what y'all thinking. Why would you want a drone that's heavier? I thought we always want the drones to get lighter. And this is comparing to the Mavic Air. Now I remember back in 2018, we went to Disney World, and one of the days we decided to go out to the beach, and I had my Phantom 4 with me, and I'm gonna tell y'all the wind was blowing, the wind was gusting. I mean, it was so much where the drone, my Phantom like was just like this, trying to maintain its position, fighting against the wind. Now, if you look at the footage, you would never know that's how rock solid the gimbal is. But I would never consider putting the Mavic Air up in that situation. It would more likely just get blown away. They say it can take 22 miles per hour wind. It will. I don't know. I wouldn't trust my Mavic Air in those situations. Now the Mavic 2 being bigger, heavier, and it's actually more streamlined than the Phantom. I'm pretty sure that I'll be a lot more confident putting it up in a situation long before I put a Mavic Air. So it's nice to have that function, that the extra weight, and I know that have the confidence that this drone can stand up in situations where a lot of the drones can't. Now another thing that's good, excuse me, y'all. What I found out is that this thing is absolutely quiet compared to the Mavic Air. I mean, when I first put it up, I was expecting some noise, a good bit of noise, and I was shocked at just how quiet it is. Being right up 6 feet away from me, and I'm like, man, this thing is absolutely quiet. I mean, the master air screw props for the Mavic Air 2 are quieter, but honestly, truly, you really don't need them. And the only reason why I would consider getting the master air screw props for the Mavic 2 is because they're cheaper. Other than that, those stock props are just absolutely quiet. I mean, I can put it up in the air around crowds, and I'd be very confident that no one will get annoyed by the noise. That's just how quiet this thing is. So that's always great to have. Now another thing I really like about the Mavic 2 is the tripod switch being on the or tripod switch replacing the attitude mode that we saw in the Phantom 4 series. Now, I I thought that would be a great feature, and it actually is because DJI had the foresight to say that more people are probably using tripod mode than they're using attitude mode. So having tripod mode at your hand, at the quick switch of the hand, would be a lot more helpful. And I'm glad they decided that because I did use tripod mode. I honestly, the only time I ever used attitude mode with my Phantom 4 series was basically just to test it out and see what it was. But I never really used it. Some people say that it flies better when you turn the GPS off, but honestly, I never had any need for attitude mode. So I'm just so glad that they put the tripod mode on the switch over attitude mode, something that I use more. And I'm pretty sure a lot of other pilots out there can appreciate that. Now, the last thing I'm going to talk about that was good is the low light performance. Of course, we knew this was the case for that one inch sensor, but man, seeing is believing. And there have been situations that I put the Mavic Air up, and you can see that the footage was just too dark to even get it to do anything with, other than maybe post processing, try to fix it and correct it in post processing. But man, the Mavic Air, it doesn't have a very high threshold when it comes down to lighting. So I put the Mavic 2 up in the same situation that I would put the Mavic Air in, where I would get unusable footage, and I was like shocked, like wow. I mean, even in low light situation, and you can adjust your manual settings, bump up the ISO, or adjust your aperture, and still get usable, very lit usable footage. It's nice to have that function, but then again, of course, we know that that was always the case with the manual settings in that one inch sensor. That's basically the whole point of the whole selling point of the Mavic 2. Now I'm going to talk about what I found surprising, that really surprised me with this thing. And the first thing is the speed. Man, this thing is fast. I mean, with the Phantom 4 in position mode, I was getting about 25 miles per hour, again, no wind. When this thing, I averaged like 31 miles per hour. I topped out at like a little bit over 32. And that's like twice the speed, almost twice the speed of a Mavic Air. Now, don't get me wrong with the Mavic Air in sport mode, it can hang with anything out there. It most definitely can hang with the Mavic 2 in sport mode. The problem with that is you'll be eating into your already very limited flight time. So with the Mavic Air, you really don't want to be going in sport mode any more than you need to. Well, this thing at 30 miles per hour, 31 miles per hour without any wind, you almost don't need sport mode. Of course, sport mode is faster, and if you really need to get somewhere faster, then sport mode is great. But honestly, truly, you really don't need it for a whole lot of things because position mode is fast. So I was really surprised at how fast this thing is. Now, another thing that I found surprising was the basically the LCD screen. Now I knew that it contained like basic telemetry information, your height, your speed, your distance from the user, and the distance from the takeoff point. Well, it actually contains more information and is a lot more helpful than I thought. First of all, it's not cluttered by the screen. So I oftentimes flying my drone, when I need telemetry information, I find myself looking up at the controller and getting that information. It's almost like using a Nintendo DS or a 3DS where you can coordinate between the two screens. Well, the information is almost easier to see because it's, like I said, it's not blending in with the screen that you're flying with, and you got your video that you're trying to take. You have the map, all these other little things. If you have your histogram out, and sometimes all your telemetry data can blend in. Whereas with the controller, it's just at a quick glance, it's easier to see. Plus, it contains more information than you will find on the screen, such as your RPMs. If you see that your RPMs are starting to get extremely high, and you want to preserve the life of your motors, where you can dial back some. And also, if you're flying full throttle and the RPMs are getting up high, and you know that you're facing a lot of wind, so you can adjust. Okay, I'm facing a lot of wind now. Also, there's a clearance between your drone and what's under you, so you can look at the clearance and you can see how much space I have below me, and that makes it easier to navigate. Again, all helpful information, and that screen turned out to be a big surprise to me. I didn't think it would be that good and that functional. I just thought it was just basic telemetry, the same thing as on your phone screen or your tablet screen, but it's very impactful. So I didn't think it was going to be that great. Another thing that I found surprising that I knew about was the gimbal panning, where you can touch the screen and move the gimbal around. Actually, it turns out to be a lot more helpful than I thought. It's very, I mean, I knew it was there, but I didn't think it was going to be as good a functionality as it is. Only thing that you'll realize that, number one, if you pan too far to the left and to the right, you're going to catch the legs, but that should be no surprise. Also, if you pan up to the left and the right, you're going to catch the blades as well. But it's really a nice function to have, and I'm just glad DJI added in. And I'm wondering if this works with the FPV goggles, that if you move your head around, does the gimbal track your head, something like a Apache helicopter? I'm just wondering if this is the case. That would be very neat on the part of DJI. Now, just a note though, that if you want to recenter your gimbal straight, some people have said that you touch the screen, tap the screen twice. Honestly, I tried it. It doesn't work for me. It just refocuses. But by default, if you push up on the 3D stick, that's the gimbal down up pitch. So you can push up twice to recenter your camera if need be. All in all, definitely surprising. Now, the only bad that I've seen is the battery life of the controller with that iCasine 2.0. I mean, it runs down, especially if you are charging your phone. So my suggestion is go in the menu and change the charge phone function, and give you some more extra battery life. But man, I can think eats through the battery life of the controller like that's on tomorrow. And you probably get, in my experience, in my what I'm getting, probably you may get maybe five full batteries, maybe four. I mean, maybe six batteries if you have it of life on the controller before you have to charge it. But then again, if I had to choose between iCasine 2.0 and better life on my controller, I'm going with iCasine 2.0. That's just me. Again, I'm just so happy that I made this upgrade. I'm telling you, I'm just ecstatic by this purchase because man, it's this you talking about the flagship drone, and I will continue to do more tests and make a video of man. This is like almost having a Phantom 4 Pro and a portable form factor. So anyway, y'all just be looking out for more videos. You know, this has been my drone logic for the day, and I'm telling y'all, I'm more impressed the more that I fly this thing. And as always, thank y'all for watching.